the box of our podcaster swap. Oh, there's fabric and more fabric and skeins and interfacing and more skeins and skeins and skeins and Christmas ornaments like Christmas. Oh, look at all the tea. Oh, what are these? Oh, tape measures. And more interfacing, and more tea, and more skeins.
Oh, it's Christmas in July. Hey, Sue.
What, Julia?
I think that's a whole lot of swapping.
That is correct. And I'm Sue.
This is A Whole Lot of Craft, episode 64. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, as always. I've been, I don't know, it'll be all right. If you hear noise, there's air conditioner, because it's really darn hot today. And since none of us have central air in this neighborhood, or very few of us do, you might hear some humming in the background, but it can't be any worse than that lawnmower a few weeks ago.
That's true. That is very true.
So, sorry. But anyway, so it's just after 4th of July. And
Party.
Yeah, I'm not looking nearly as sunburned as I thought I might on the camera. Spent a long weekend outside, and I forgot my sunscreen for a good chunk of it. It just, it's not in my thought process yet,
Oh, really? I'm wearing sunscreen all the time.
I do when I put on moisturizer. But I haven't been wearing that lately because it's been so hot. I don't want to stick any extra stuff on my skin.
I've been wearing it since April.
Good for you. And that's why she looks like this. And
I'm a redhead. When I coach softball, my co-coach is Puerto Rican, and he makes fun of me because he tans.
Yes.
And he makes fun of me. In fact, I would say at night when we played under the lights, I'd be like, I have to get my sunscreen on. Burn under the lights and give it that.
Glowing.
Yeah, I had to put my sunscreen on at home because he would make fun of me when I put my sunscreen on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, normally I'm okay. I tan pretty well, but I just have not. I don't have the base. So I got a little bit of sun this weekend. Not bad. Just a little bit. But I totally expected my nose to look much better. So this is good. That's good. That's a good sign. Things are toning down already. So
speaking of parties, we got a party in a box.
We did. We participated in a podcaster swap that was hosted by the Spicy Homemaker, who's got her own podcast. And it was really fun, I think. We got to meet a podcaster that I didn't know before, which was kind of new and exciting.
I've never done a swap before.
Well, yay! This is cool.
It was fun for me.
Yeah, and she was really gracious. Her name is Carolyn, and she does the Penguin Coffee Clash podcast. Sorry. She graciously offered to swap with both of us, which is extra work for her. Mm-hmm. But it was really fun because then, we could each participate a little bit, and put stuff together in a box.
Yes.
For her, so she gets double your pleasure.
Yeah, we sent her yarn, and I sent her beads.
Yeah, she got it's a Christmas in July swap, so she got a little ornament I made for her to go with her Harry Potter obsession.
And I made a lavender one, which you could hang on a tree, or you could do whatever you'd like with it.
Yeah, and that's someone's good. And she's going to open the box, and it's going to be like lavender heaven.
She will be calm.
Yeah, and she got some mini skeins, which I hope she likes the colors. But she sent us some really fun things too, and we're going to share with you guys.
Yes. Go. What did it get? Should we do it double?
We can do it together. So she sent us an ornament as well. Actually, we each got a little Fair Isle ornaments. That's really cute. Mine is.
Oh, mine has snowflakes on it.
Yeah, mine's like little triangle diamonds, but they look kind of like snowballs that went splat. So it's really cute. This was fun.
Yes.
Really nice and squishy. So we each got one of those. And then she did send us mini skeins as well. Oh, you still have a needle in yours.
I do. I was like, there's something over there.
There's still a needle in
Hey,
it.
look, I got an extra prize.
Thank you, right? So she sent some of her favorite yarns, which is really cool.
Yes.
These are just ones that I think that she just really liked.
Yes.
Colorways.
This one is Stonehenge Fiber Mill Crazy.
Yeah, and
It is really pretty.
I got a fiddle knits lace and Barrenwall Pond, which I'd never seen before, so that's really fun.
And this one's Miss Babs Northumbrium.
Mm.
Vlad's Red.
You're gonna like that. Miss Babs is fun. I have worked with that one, but these are new to me. And then we each got a little skein from her Opal advent calendar, which is great for the Christmas in July theme.
I like these colors.
Yeah. This will be fun these are good for little toes and heels when you make your first pair of socks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then she sent us each a little tape measure because she noticed that we were both getting into sewing more. And of course, she's been sewing forever anyway. But having another tape measure is never a problem.
I know. I think someone in my house might steal this one with kitties on it.
Yeah, mine's got a penguin. And my
That is
daughter loves penguins.
Cute. So cute.
I know, they're so fun. They're like
I like you
crocheted.
can even hang it
Oh, you
up.
can hang it. It's got a little thing on the back. How fun.
I like the way mine looks like it has a kitty tail.
Oh, there, it's this flipper. I'm like, I can't find where the tape measure is.
These are really cute.
I use one big now. Yeah, these are really
All right, we're having way too much fun with these.
And then she sent us some fabric
Yes.
and some interfacing, which is great because I don't ever have stuff like this. Like, this is not what I would get at the store. So I chose the elephant / zebra fabric.
And I got the kitty fabric to go with. Show me, so it's
All
right
things
here.
kitties. Kitties and books.
Kitties and books, which is so fun.
Yeah.
And I like this foamy fabric.
Yeah, she sent us interfacing too to help
Foamy
with bags.
interfacing.
Mine has directions in it, which is why it's really
Yours
like
is the
that.
Pellon fusible.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And we also got teas.
Oh, I know. This is all from David's Tea, which I've heard a lot about but never tried. And I'm loving the names of them. It's cracking me up.
Forever Nuts.
Yep. And we got blueberry jam, which is great.
Chocolate macaroon, which at first I thought said chocolate mushroom.
We all need some
That one
chocolate
smells so
mushroom.
good.
And this one is Silk Dragon Jasmine.
This one's organic blueberry jam.
Yep, we got that one.
It's so jagged.
I don't know, but it smells so
Jasmine
good.
flowers. Wait,
Smells so
I
good.
dropped my best one.
Oh, yeah.
it is.
Here's the spices right, and this one's going to be wonderful. It's got cloves and chili pepper in it.
Ooh. This one's called Mother's Little Helper.
We were fighting over this one because there's only one of these. We
Yeah,
never
and the
tasted some
ingredients
other.
are Xanax, medicinal marijuana. No, I'm kidding. What's
It's the middle of
What's the other ingredient I said?
Valium.
Valium, right?
We all need Mother's Little Helper.
No, it's actually peppermint root, lemongrass, hibiscus, but there is valerian root in it, which is a sedative. So. But anyway.
Next time when we're drinking this, if she falls asleep, we'll know why.
Mother's Little
Yes.
Helper.
And the last one I got was cream of Earl Grey, and I just keep laughing about this because it just makes me think of like, hello, Earl. Cream and
They smell good.
yeah. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Yes,
Yes,
it was
this
very
very
kind of
fun. And also to the Spicy Homemaker for making this happen. So
Yes.
it was much fun.
you. Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Yeah. So I'll put those down.
So, what's up next? We have stuff to give away.
We do, yes. The sew along is officially done, and we both actually finished our skirts, which is cool. But we had other people participate, putting other various garments and bags and stuff into the thread. So
Nice.
I was happy to see all the
Fun
different things.
thread.
Yeah. So we did a little drawing, and we chose Sparky Spud to be our winner of the prize for the sew along.
We'll send you this
Yeah, this little
fat
quarter
quarter pack.
package. She was
So fun.
the chattiest of the chatty, so
Yeah, had a lot of fun
thanks for talking to us.
conversing with her.
Yeah.
So we'll be sending those on our
Yep,
next.
just let me know your address and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So have you, we also had a knit along that went along with it, but that's kind of it didn't go anywhere and I took mine apart, so.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if you're working on a lateral thinking I'd still love to see it, you can still post it, but the official knit along time is over, so that's okay.
Nice.
We'll start another one soon enough. All right. Any projects you worked on?
All my projects have been home projects. So I finally finished my walkway
Mm-hmm.
and put flowers on it. Did I already say that last time?
No, last time we just saw the stones.
Oh, right. So I put flowers in between it and finally finished that. And I repainted my son's room, which was a big project.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of repair work in there.
Yeah, I imagine you had to move a lot of stuff around.
Oh, yes. A lot of stuff. That boy had a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So that was my big project that I've been working on for the last month. It's not quite done. The wall is done. I just have to finish the trim.
Okay. That's
So,
yeah. I always give up before that point. I did all the walls and I never did get to the trim. So.
Really? I gotta finish
That
now.
is what it
It's
is.
just that the paint really smells,
Oh.
and it was bothering my husband, so I stopped. At
Did
least
you
that's
use
my
oil paint?
that's my excuse. No, it's just an older paint. So
Oh.
newer paints. It's a trim that I've used elsewhere in my house.
Yeah.
But newer paints don't smell as
Right.
much in general.
Right.
So it seems like a huge difference.
Right. Yeah, I just went out and bought new. I don't trust the paint that's been in our basement. I don't know how old it is, and that just kind of makes me nervous.
Yes.
Not
I got
really
rid of a
sure.
lot of paint. Every time I paint, I end up getting rid of a lot.
Mhm.
Like, oh look, this is all dried out, or this is all.
What color was that?
Yeah, what room did we use this in? Especially when you're using white trims.
Yeah.
Pretty much at this point, I'm going for every trim in my house being the same
Yeah.
color.
Yeah, that would work well. Yeah, well, when I opened up our paint cupboard, I not only found paint that was probably 50 years old, but I found a whole bunch of alcohol, like some slow gin and some various other things. And the
That
two
is
of them
so funny.
being in there together, like both of them, I'm just like,
No.
so I don't touch any of it. It just kind of stays there until I can get to the recycling thing. But I finished a couple things.
What did you finish?
I finished socks, which is a big deal for me because I never finish pairs of socks. This is huge. So this is the pair that I started at the when I went on the retreat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like a new record for me. For how
Wow,
long it
that
took.
was really fast.
Yeah, and it was really like I really like these. Now that they're done, I'm so excited to wear them. They're squishy and thick, and
They're
I
pretty
really
colors.
like the way the heels and toes coordinate with the yarn. I'm really happy with these.
Yeah, they're nice.
So-
I like them.
This is made from Jitterbug from Collinette, which I think they stopped dyeing, which is very sad because their colors are really nice. So if you can get a skein of Jitterbug, I would grab it. So that's the main color, and then the contrast is from Barefoot. I believe it's Mountain Colors. Comes in a skein of 4 little mini skeins that you can like stripe or whatever. But I just pulled them apart, and I'm using the minis for various things that only need a little bit of a color.
Nice.
So there's that, and then this one is made for a friend of mine who really wanted me to make her a mermaid tail, and this is smaller than a mermaid tail. I can't do it for a grown-up. She said she's always cold,
pretty
so I
colors.
told her I'm just going to make you some socks, and she's got bigger feet than me, so that's why it's not quite fitting on the thing. But this is just a standard plain old vanilla sock pattern out of Marigold Gin in Sidewalk Chalk is the name of the color.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so there's that one.
I like that.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
these shots
together.
of color in here, the
Isn't it
oranges
fun?
and the teals.
And I tried for the first time a Fish Lips Kiss heel, which is really, it's supposed to look like you're puckering there for
Nice.
the heel. And that was a really fun heel, so if you haven't tried that one, I'd recommend it. Standard toe, standard cuff, etc.
Fun.
Yeah. So
Good
those are
job.
my finished. Do you have anything coming up? Any projects you want to start?
I'm just going on vacation. And we always do jewelry on vacation.
Oh
so-
yeah, you always come back with some cool stuff.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't have anything in my brain. I'm still packing.
Is that the first thing you're supposed to pack? The recreational
You know what?
stuff?
Actually, it ends up being the last. When I go in and I just throw a whole bunch of stuff in a box. I'm like, did I bring all the right stuff?
Do you have any ideas what kind of jewelry you're going to do?
We bring copper, and I like to do, we do torch work and that sort of thing. So I might work on some of those hammered earrings.
Oh yeah.
Because I like playing around with the hammered copper.
Is this your island trip?
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, no power. Do you power?
No power.
No power. Good time to play with fire.
Yes, exactly. We have
That's
15
fun.
torches, so
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
hit things with hammers.
I've got a couple things I've continued to work on, and hopefully will get done. So my future projects here. I did finish the back of that sweater finally. the striped one I showed you guys.
Oh, nice.
And I've cast on, this is the front, and it's coming up and over the top.
Such pretty
So,
colors.
yeah, so here's the little, this is the very beginnings of the shoulders coming down the front.
Oh.
There. Isn't that, I love the color. Love it, love it, love it. So it's not striped anymore at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the solid, and then it'll come in with little zigzags of the gray later. So we're getting there.
Interesting.
It's taken a while. It's a fingering weight, so it's just, small needles and small yarn. It takes a long time for a sweater.
Right.
And then, of course, because you guys know me,
You can't have one project
I
going.
can't have one project going. I was asked to do another knit along for the shop I worked for, and she asked me to do Stephen West's mystery shawl from this past year called the Doodler. So I have a light gray, and I have a super bright pink,
Ooh, that's pretty.
and like a denim blue. So those are the three.
I like it.
And I cast it on. It was my 4th of July cast on, and I did 6 wedges yesterday in the car.
It is sort of a
not
very
fun.
sort of off 4th of July, right? It's not
A little
red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
it's sort
gray, pink, and blue.
Yeah.
Close enough. But in any case, it looks kind of flaggish too, which is really kind of fun.
of yes.
But that's the first little part I did. And this is week, it's broken into 4 weeks. You can really do it if you want to, a section per week and just be done with it for a little bit. So I'll see how much I get finished. But I'm running the knit along for the shop between July 4th and August 15th. So if anybody wants to join me, it's on the Knitter's Edge thread on Ravelry, or you can just drop me a line on our thread as well. And I'll, I'd like to see other people's colors. He's got such a knack for unusual designs that when people put their colors together, it totally changes the way they look. So that's the
Always
Doodler.
fun.
Yeah, and that's really those are going to be my main two. I did cast on another sock, but I'm using a little 9-inch circular, and I don't know if I like it. I can't decide. It's
Tiny.
did I bring it? Oh, I thought I brought it. Anyway, it's just this little circle needle, and I have to hold my hands differently, and I'm not sure. It's changing my gauge, and I just don't know if I like it yet, so I got to think about that one. But there's always a sock.
Maybe it takes some time to get used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I just get impatient. The sock is not supposed to be hard anymore for me, so I want that to be my not thinking time, and I've had
I
to
hear
think,
you.
about that one.
So,
So,
I'm so all about the puns.
so we did finish our skirts.
We did.
We did. And how'd yours turn out?
It is too big.
Oh,
I have to finish. I have to redo it. Luckily, it's not that hard to redo it. So I need to take the waistband off,
okay.
and I don't know. It ended up being a lot bigger than I should have. It's not like just a little bit too big. It's like the elastic is not even stretched. at all.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I have to take almost like 1.5 inches or 2 inches
Okay.
out of the waistband.
Do you have to just take it out of the elastic or out of the whole skirt?
Well, I'll have to take it out of the whole skirt because the elastic is sewed to the waistband.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have to take the whole thing off and then take this out and make the waistband smaller,
Okay.
which actually is not that hard.
But do you have to actually redo seaming on this part?
No,
Or no. Okay.
No. So what I did is I followed the circle skirt on Handmade by Dana,
Mm-hmm.
but I did not get the correct amount of fabric.
Okay.
So originally I had the pattern, which I don't have, that I made.
Right.
The hardest part of this pattern, this particular skirt, was making the pattern.
Right.
If you followed the directions and didn't think about the math, just followed and did what she said, it was easy. And I made the pattern, and now I have the pattern
Yes,
forever.
yes.
And I know that it works for me. I just need to rethink the waistband. Originally, you're supposed to take the fabric and you fold it 4 times.
Right.
So that when you cut out, you're cutting out 1/4 of it. Voila, you have 1 piece of fabric, 1 seam,
Got it.
and your
Okay.
skirt is done. And I was about 1.5 inches, 2 inches too small
Mm-hmm.
for the way that it fanned out, and I was afraid if I took that off, it would be too small. And I was
Okay.
like, I don't want to cut this, and then it's too small.
Right.
So what I ended up doing was I had the whole swath of fabric. I folded part of it over, just big enough to fit the pattern, and I cut that out. Now I have this whole section over here.
Yeah.
And so I had one piece fan like this, and another piece fan like this.
Okay.
Like I folded it over. So it's actually a more efficient use of the fabric.
Okay.
Because if you do it in the fourths, you cut out the semicircle. Now you have this big chunk over here.
Right, the whole other corner.
Left. Now I just have a little bit left.
Okay.
So I ended up making, there's 2 seams. I just sewed the 2 pieces together. So you just end up with an extra seam. So I did a French seam on the sides.
Okay.
And a French,
so it's covered.
A French seam is basically when it's inside.
Got it.
The frayed edge is inside of the seam. And if I really wanted to, I could re-tack this down. I didn't do that. I was waiting to see how it laid. And I think actually, I didn't hem it. Once I hem it, it's just going to stay flat.
That'll be nice.
You can, but then you have this extra.
Yes.
Not that you're really going to see it because it's a circle skirt and it's gathered and it moves. But yeah, so I just sewed the 2 pieces together. So then you ended up with the circle originally. And putting the waistband on was not hard. But, as we talked about in a past episode, measuring yourself is hard.
Yeah,
you get different measurements. And I'm wondering if that's part of the reason. I was measuring up high, down low at my waist, at my hips, and couldn't quite figure out where I wanted it. And even though it was the measurement for like right on my hips, it still feels like if I snagged it on something, it would just come right off of me.
That might not be the optimal
so
size.
I'm thinking it's too big, which is fine. But like honestly, to take this part, it's I always feel like I haven't done a sewing project if I didn't get my seam ripper off. So it's a matter of taking this off. And I learned a little bit about putting elastic on, where you make the elastic band so it's a circle.
Yeah.
You line it up at the top and you pin it front and back, side and side, and then you pin it in between. You just kind of take half of each measurement, and then as you sew, you need to pull it.
Oh,
you
so
need
it's flat.
to stretch it, and that's how you get the gather.
I see. So you didn't like baste your fabric and then pull the fabric to the size. You pulled the elastic to the size of the fabric.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of an opposite.
Yeah. So it was I've never done that.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Cool.
So I definitely learned stuff. I just have to make it a little bit smaller and put a hem on it. I'm kind of debating though if I want to. I might just do 2 rows of stitching down here and let this fray.
Okay.
Because I kind of like
that would
how
be
it
kind of
frays.
interesting. Yeah.
I have to get it started though, or else it looks like you just messed it up.
Right. I didn't do it right.
But I might do that.
Cool.
How about yours? What pattern did you use?
Well, I used my skirt. I used just my plain old skirt that I knew fit me, and I showed you guys when I laid it out, and I had to ultimately make 2 because the fabric I'd forgotten was actually directional. So I cut 2 pieces, and then assumed I was going to sew the 2 seams, do a waistband, do a hem. No big deal. So I folded the skirt, and it's rayon, so it's a little wrinkly, so I ironed everything, and I laid it out, and I made sure it was all set, and I cut it with about that much. I cut 2 inches bigger on the top and bottom for the seam, for the seam, well, for the fold over for the elastic and for the hem, and then I probably did 1 inch bigger on the side for the seam allowance. And I thought, great, this should be no problem. Well, I don't know what happened. I honestly don't, because when I pinned it together, too small around my hips. And I could have pulled it up and made it shorter and it would have been fine, but it didn't fit where I wanted it, like the length I wanted it to. So then my daughter was ecstatic because she's like, oh, I'll take it. but luckily I had enough, because I bought too much fabric. I had enough that I could cut 1 more piece, and I cut it a lot bigger. I probably cut it an extra 4 inches bigger. So the back and the front of my skirt are not the same size. And technically that's not okay, but I can't tell.
Nobody's going to notice.
So if you look at it here, I can't find it now.
I can't even find it. If you can't find the mistake,
this is the side.
Anymore.
Yeah, this is the side here, and the seam is right there. So it's just barely. It's just a little, like 1 inch. And just having that extra little bit gave it the ease it needed around my hips. And so I'm okay with it. It's not see-through, which was one of my concerns with it being white. I'm really happy with the casing. I think the edges turned out really good. I'm really happy with the hem. It's even and it looks really nice. And considering when I pulled my sewing machine out, it had so much lint in it. and dust. Like I went to sew with it and the tension was just completely horribly wonky. I couldn't get the tension fixed. So I opened the whole thing up and took the bobbin out and brushed it out and blew it out with a hair dryer and did everything I could and put it back together, and the tension was good. So I think maybe it was just something hanging it up underneath. So I was worried for a while, but after all of that, it actually sewed very nicely.
Nice.
And I'm really happy with it. So next time I think I will use a real pattern. Go back to traditional and not try to.
Well, we were talking about before too. I wonder if you would have gotten a different measurement if you would have not folded it twice.
Yeah.
If you had if it was in half.
Well, I think I laid it out on my
equals the same
floor, so
thing in half
Yeah.
at this point.
Right. Yeah, and I think maybe part of it is just space. Like I guess I could have fit all of this out on the floor and cut, but I was concerned that there wouldn't be enough room for me to spread everything out, you know. And honestly, I didn't think about, your mind says efficiency, fold it in half, it'll be fine.
Right.
And I wonder too, because it's gathered in the back here, if maybe that pulled it in a little bit more than it should have. It's not gathered a lot, but there's a little bit of elastic in the back that maybe that threw it off a little.
Yeah.
I don't know, but lessons learned. Measure twice.
All right. But I had the same experience when I did pajama bottoms from current pajamas. A lot of them were really tight in the butt, or it was too short in the back.
Okay.
Like they were
And
like
you'd think,
hipsters for my husband, and he's not a hipster, and he wore them for Christmas I made pajamas
That
that
was
was
nice
for
of you.
everyone. And he was just kind of like, these don't fit me.
yeah.
Meanwhile, the ones I made for my son, this year they didn't fit him because he outgrew them.
Yeah.
His worked fine, and this was several years ago. And he was like, "You have to go buy the same fabric and make these again." And I was like, "Honey, they don't fit you. I can see all of your underwear." He's like, but I love them, and they're so cozy.
Oh,
Can you buy this bird fabric again? It had cardinals on it.
Fine.
And I was like, "Okay, maybe I'll just make some new Christmas pajamas next
Yeah.
year."
Yeah, I think maybe just adding, if you're going to trace something, be really liberal with your seam allowances. You can always take them back in farther. You can
Right.
sew a second seam if it's too big, but if you don't cut enough, there's nothing you can do.
So you folded it twice, but and you were supposed to have seams on the sides, right?
Right. I folded the skirt. I folded the fabric once, and I folded the skirt once
Okay.
because it was
So the
a
skirt,
really long. Sorry.
so the fabric was folded in half
Yes.
once, and then you folded again.
No, just once.
So
So
the fabric was like that.
I cut this shape here.
Right, but you did fold it.
I just folded it.
Oh, it's two pieces of fabric.
Yes.
And then you folded it once. But it makes me wonder if you needed 2 inches of seam allowance because you needed an inch on either side for both fabric, and that would have given you 4 inches.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I maybe I just miscalculated with the seam allowances how much I.
You know what I mean? Like if you had laid it out like this,
Yeah.
and you had an inch on either side.
Right.
But now, because you folded it like this, you only added an inch.
You think so? But I had two. Technically, there should have been an inch on the front and on the back, and then on the
You're
second
right. So
piece
if you
also.
if you could do it like this, you shouldn't have to add more.
Right. And
It's
that's
still
why I was surprised
totally
that
an
it was too small. I'm kind of wondering if it was just based on maybe it was wrinkled on the inside and I didn't realize it because I folded the skirt
That is possible.
and it was double thick. Even
Yeah.
though I tried to shake it all out and lie it flat, that perhaps it was just, it wasn't. If maybe if I had laid it out, there would have been less chance of fabric being caught or something. But
Live and learn.
yeah.
But it was fun.
It was fun. I had a good time with it, and I got my skirt done, which I've been meaning to do for 2 years. So that
And
was
you
good
wore
news.
it?
I did.
And everybody loved it.
Mm-hmm. I got actual real compliments on it.
Real
So
compliment.
yeah, like they didn't know it was me. They thought it was bought at a store.
That's
So
awesome.
sometimes I think that's a good compliment.
Yes.
So
Exactly. So if you guys have any tips that you learned from when you did your skirt sew along, make sure you let us know.
yeah, and Amanda Sparky Spud had posted a sewing podcast that she found. It's listed in our chatter thread for the sew along. So if you guys are interested in another podcast, it's audio, and so check that out. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's listed there, so you guys can go find it if you want to hear it. Nice. I could always use more tips. Somebody else's perspective, because
Well, and sewing is one of those things. There's very many different ways to come about it. Sometimes people think like this is how you sew, and there is that sort of bookish. But there's a lot of ways you can come at a pattern from different ways. It's sort of like knitting socks.
Yeah.
You know, from the toe up or the
top down. Yep. There's always lots of ways to figure things out. So it's been fun to get into this again.
Yes.
And it's kind of another new journey.
Yeah.
Seriously, I could have a whole other stash going now.
Because that's what you need, right?
Yes, because now everybody wants me to make them something. That's
Nice.
handmade wardrobe is suddenly taking off in my house. I have to find some more hours.
I hear you.
Again. Thanks for joining us. I guess
Yes.
that's kind of it for today. And we'll be back later in the summer after the vacations are done.
Yes.
Got some summertime crafts to share. And if you want to do the doodler, please join me.
Yes.
Anything else?
I think that's it for today.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one. Come see us at
Bye.
lottacraft.com. Bye.